welcome to Carnex. Today in our showroom we have a 2018 Tesla Model 3. This is the long-range model in the rear-wheel drive trim. It's got one owner, 56,000 kilometers on the dash, and no accidents. Now let's take a quick walk around the outside and then we'll take it out for a test drive. First things first, let's look at these tires. These are Bridgestone Potenza all-season tires. As you can see, plenty of tread left on both front and back. On this side of the vehicle, there's no major imperfections. So let's head to the back, as there are some interesting things to check out back here. First things first, your charging port is located right over here. As you can see, it's masked. Opens up just like that. Close it, tap it down. Now, of course, everything that I talk about and everything that I show, it will have remote release if you do choose to integrate your phone with the key. I do not have the app, so we're just gonna have to do it manually. But do keep that in mind. If you wanted to pop your trunk remotely, you do have the option of doing that with your smartphone. Let's go ahead and pop it. See how much space you got back here. As you can see, a very sizable trunk. Of course, you do have a few storage compartments here as well. Here's the information package and some extra mud flaps. Of course, you do have a few cubbies back there as well. And as always, you have the option of flipping your seats down. And that is as easy as pulling this one trigger here. Now, as you can see, you have much more room, and these are 60-40 split. So if you want to carry a passenger in the back while having a little bit more trunk space, you always have the option of doing that. Let's go ahead and close this up. Check out the other side. Of course, on this side, no major imperfections. However, I do have to mention the wheels. On the front rim, you're gonna notice a small little chip right around here, and on the back wheel as well. There is a little bit of a rash going on right at the top. As you can see, it's been touched up, but it's still there. Now let's go ahead and move to the front. Now there is one tiny little stone chip right around here. As you can see, there is an even tinier stone chip right here, although you can barely even see that. And of course, let's talk a little bit about how you get into the car. For example, if you choose not to sync your smartphone, which you should because it unlocks quite a few features about this car, you always have the option of using this key. And all it is a credit card. And the way you use it is you tap here. And as you can see, the car is locked. Same for unlocking. Walk up to the car, just tap it, and just like that, it's open. Now, of course, if you do have the smartphone, you would have keyless entry as well as keyless start. It would all be quite seamless. Now let's head inside and check out some of the features in there. All right, moving on to the interior of the Model 3. Let's take a quick look around, and I want to take a look at the main feature of this car, which is the center console, as most of the features are actually controlled from here. First things first, looking at the steering wheel. Of course, it's leather wrapped, very few buttons on here, but don't be fooled, these actually have quite a few different functions. Behind here you have the window wiper stalk, and of course the gear selector, and apart from that, you have very few buttons. The center console is clean, the dash is clean, even the door panel to an extent is a very clean look. Now let's take a quick look at the back here. Of course, back seats, you have quite a bit of legroom, and as always, if you flip this down, you have the two cup holders. And one nice feature is actually, if you do have three people sitting back here, you have a headrest for the middle passenger, which is not the most common thing in sedans. Now, of course, back here, you have two USB ports. These are charging ports as well. And in here, you have a nice little storage area. This comes out just like that to give you even more storage in here. Of course, you have the 12-volt charging port in there. You've got the two cup holders, and in here you have quite a few things. So first things first, you have a very deep storage pocket in here as well. You have an Android cable, and what that does is, actually let me open up all the way and place my phone just like that. Now, as you can see over here, you have the iPhone charging cable, and that just plugs in there into a USB cord right in here, and it lets you just quickly connect your phone like that. Of course, having both options for either iPhone and Android. You can have 2 Androids, 2 iPhones, it's up to you. Now let's go ahead and close this up. Everything closes up nicely, just like that. And here is your key. If you do decide to use it, all you gotta do to start the car, just place it over here, and you're good to go. Now, let's talk a little about the infotainment system, and there is a lot to talk about in here. I will try my best to go through everything. However, chances are, if you are shopping for this vehicle, you already know most of these things, and you probably know them better than I do. So let's go ahead and start with the vehicle. Of course, this does come equipped with navigation, as you just saw there. There you go, it's up on the screen. And over on the left hand side, you can remotely open, of course, the trunk and the front and the charging port as well. One interesting thing about the charging port is you can actually open it and close it remotely, just like that. Now, that did just shut off the vehicle, so let me show you how to turn it on again. There you go, you're good to go. Now, let's talk a little bit about the climate control system. So I really like what they did here, and as you can see, there's no separate vents. It's just one long strip going along the entire front of the car. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but behind this wood trim, there is a second vent which directs the air upward. So I'm gonna pull it up on the screen here. As you can see, it actually lets you control the air to a crazy extent. You can control every single degree of exactly where you want the flow to go. Pretty cool in my opinion, very futuristic, as is the style of this vehicle. Now, of course, you also have heated seats, and in here you have the auto climate control. So of course, as I was saying earlier, if you do decide to install the app on your phone, which again you should, because it gives you full control of the vehicle. Let's say it's a hot day, you're stepping in for just a little bit, you don't want the car to get hot while it's sitting in the sun. You can actually set the automatic climate control to turn on even when you're not around. So the car can always stay at a nice cool temperature. And of course, same for the winter. Let's say it's a cold morning and you want the car to be nice and hot for when you're ready to go to work. You can set that up on your phone as well. Now, let's check out some of the other things inside of here. First things first, let's check out the packages. Of course, this is the long range model. It's rear wheel drive, and it comes with a couple packages here. The first one is enhanced autopilot, which is just basically a little bit improved version of the original Tesla autopilot. And then here you have the premium connectivity, which includes everything from Bluetooth to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. Now moving on, of course, this does come equipped with autopilot. It is a Tesla. I do have it enabled. I'm going to try my best to try and show it off to you. Of course, you can see it's extremely customizable. You can customize everything from the forward collision warning to the speed limit to the exact amount of how fast you're willing to go over the speed limit, obviously within reason. Of course, down here you have the emergency lane departure, the blind spot collision warning, automatic emergency braking, obstacle awareness. It comes equipped with everything. Pretty interesting stuff. Now moving on, to continue the theme of customizability, of course, you can customize pretty much everything. As you can see, the car even keeps a log of who accessed your vehicle and how. Now, you can customize literally everything. You can actually make this your own car. You can have it behave exactly like you want to. For example, if you don't want the car to unlock when you park, you have the option to turn that off. It's very impressive what they've been able to do with the customization here. And of course, moving on, you can customize the display fully as well of course, you have voice recognition, voice navigation. You can customize the brightness, display mode between day and night. I have it on day setting just so you're able to see a little bit better. However, personally, I do think this is a lot easier on the eyes. Now, moving on down from that, of course, you have a few modes that you can customize from. Regenerative braking between low and standard. That basically changes how much energy you're getting back every time you're braking, because of course this car does come equipped with brakes that charge up your battery as you're using them. And of course, over here you have the stopping mode. Essentially, if you're not familiar with electric vehicles, what that does is it makes it behave more like a gas car, because right now the way the car is set up and just the nature of an electric motor is if you let off the gas, it's gonna stop pretty much instantly or very abruptly. It's a very unusual feeling, and you do have the option of making it behave a little bit more like a gas car, where it just, as soon as you let off the gas, it still keeps rolling forward. And of course, lastly, pretty cool feature, you can open up the glove box from the touch screen. I know it's not very useful, however, I do find that cool. And just one final feature that we're going to talk about are the cameras. Of course, you have the 2 cameras, one on each side mirror and one reverse camera. And let me just show off the park assist while we're at it. I think it's pretty neat, so I'm just going to back up here for you. And as you'll be able to see, the lines that appear right about there. Oh, it doesn't want me to drive because I don't have my seatbelt fastened. So there you go. Very safe vehicle. Let's go ahead and try that again, because I do want to show this feature off. As you can see, as we're getting closer to the wall, right over here, it actually tells you the distance between your vehicle and the wall in centimeters. That's how accurate this is. I think that's pretty neat. If you've got a garage with a bunch of stuff in it, this makes it super easy to park. Now, let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. See how it handles. As you can see, you can keep the cameras on at all times, which is pretty handy because those are actually your blind spots as well. Go ahead and make that right turn. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is these absolutely massive glass sunroof. It's letting in a lot of sunlight right now. It is a little bit tinted, however, it is still noticeably brighter in here now that we're outside. I think it's a pretty cool feature, and I definitely haven't seen it in a lot of vehicles. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about the car is the steering wheel, these little knobs on here. Of course, you can use them to control the volume, the tracks, and a bunch of other stuff as well. So right over here in quick controls, you can actually control the mirrors. As you can see, the mirror over there is moving. You can switch between left and right as well. And you can just adjust the steering wheel with the same knobs as well. Let's go ahead and make a right turn, get up to speed. Now, of course, this is a fully electric vehicle, so the torque is instantaneous. And as you just saw, that was pretty quick by most standards. Let's go ahead and try the autopilot feature, see how well that does. And make a right turn on a small street over here. I already do have it enabled in the center console. Of course, you can toggle it off as well. All you gotta do is double tap the gear selector, and just like that, we're going. So it automatically detected the speed limit, and as you can see, the road does wind a little bit, so it's adjusting automatically. Now it's asking me to apply a little bit of pressure, and that's because it still wants to make sure that you are not sleeping. And as you can see, the vehicle is braking automatically. I don't have to do a single thing. Now let's see how it deals with railroad tracks. My foot is off the gas, it's off the brake. And just like that, it went over railroad tracks. No issues at all. As you can see, the car in front of me just pulled the hazard lights. The car realized that right away. I'm not sure why he's doing this, but we're gonna go ahead and go around him. Now, as you saw, that was fully automated, which was actually quite impressive. That was completely unplanned. I did not see that coming. And it's definitely a bit of a weird feeling, I gotta say. Now let's go ahead and turn around, head back to our plaza. All right, now heading back in the other direction. Once again, let's go over the railroad tracks. As you can see, my foot is off the gas, it's off the brakes. I'm not holding the wheel, and just like that, it's fully automated. Now let's go ahead and make the left turn here. All right, back on autopilot. Let's see how it deals with this curve. Whoa, that's a weird feeling. Definitely a big turn, but still no issues for the Tesla. Now let's go ahead and make a lane change, see what it does. Just like that, it was almost instant. Now let's go ahead and turn into our plaza and finish up this test drive. Now, of course, I probably missed quite a few things about the vehicle, as it does have many different features. So if you do want to find out more, give us a visit at Carnex.ca. We have a full virtual reality tour up there, both the inside and the outside, as well as a few more details. And of course, if you want to book yourself in for a test drive or to try out the autopilot, please give us a call, send us an email, we'd be happy to do that. Now this concludes our video. Please give it a thumbs up, share it, it helps us promote the sale, and it helps us bring you new inventory in the future. Thank you for watching.